Gotta at least knock this one out before it gets hot. Welcome to Bullman Built RC. I am Matt, your favorite YouTuber's least favorite YouTuber, and today I'm going to show you the finished product of kind of what you just watched in the little montage, being semi-built-ish. As much as I like building trucks, I also like having trucks that other people build. So Jordan and I have kind of gotten this thing, whatever, where I have him build trucks. He doesn't really have me build trucks now that I think about it, so it's not really like a 50-50, but regardless, I had him build me a Jeep. I can attempt to build pretty much anything that I can see. However, Jordan has been a Jeep guy for a long time, and he knows how to make a cool looking Jeep in a cool looking style. So this starts with, hey, will you build me a buggy? Maybe, sure, okay, cool, here's some money. And here is some reference pictures. Take the front end off of this buggy, the main cage off of this buggy. I like the double B pillar on this, and I like the back of this. And here's a New Bright TJ, have fun. So what I ended up with was kind of this. So he chopped up the nose of the TJ and then got to work. As I mentioned, I did want the double B pillar, which he did oblige. Really, I wanted it kind of clean and simple, so I went ahead and just had him put the grill surround bar on it. It has a tiny little mini stinger kind of thing, and then it has the bent bars going to support those. The hood does have magnets. You take the magnets off real quick, then kind of slide the hood back, and it has two little notches that basically release and the hood comes off. Underneath it does have the regular VFD. It also has a Scale Metal Supplies Panhard servo mount that we kind of modify to fit into a lot of things. I use them, I know Jordan uses them, and one of the things I did was I did have Jordan double shear the Panhard mount. I am not a 8-year-old child strung out on sugar. However, I'm not easy on things, I guess. I'm a big fan of what I would consider decent horsepower trail trucks. So that's kind of what I tend to build. Almost everything I build buggy wise is on 4S. It's, you know, got 475s, etc., etc. So that's what I did here in scale. As far as power goes, this does take a 4S pack. It has a deluxe ESC going down to a Holmes Polar Pro. I did get to drive it a little bit. It does stutter a little, and I'm not quite sure that that combo really fits well. I could have it geared a little bit too high, but I do like the gearing in it. So at slow speed, it does kind of jitter a little. I tried taking that out in my radio, and it just didn't really work. So I am going to replace that with a Yellow Jacket. So I will have the deluxe and the Yellow Jacket combo. This thing will take 4S, no big deal. So I'm not really losing anything there. I could shorten it up into a stubby, but I don't really want to make another stubby kit. I don't really feel like buying another stubby kit, and this is kind of fine the way it is. It's weighted really nice, so I may just take the weight reduction, I guess is what you'd call it, and move the weight that is there a little bit farther forward. That way, you know, maybe it'll help the balance. I'm not sure exactly, but that's what I'm going to do. It does have a G13 Pro as far as a servo. I love those things. I will tell you all the time. G13 Pro for standard size and direct power, and a 800 LP if you need the LP in a tire size that's needs a little bit more torque to throw things around. Those are my two options. I freaking love them. The G13 Pro is a killer deal at $100. I am also a dealer, but that really has nothing to do with it. It's actually the other way around. I really like Three Brothers products, so I looked into becoming a dealer for things that I like versus becoming a dealer and then finding things that I like from them. However you want to call that, that's just the way I work. I'm always honest with everybody, and these are my actual favorite servo across the board, really, if I don't need a low profile. Now with that little sales pitch thing out of the way, beyond that, speaking of deluxe, I do have deluxe 90, I think these are 96s. These don't have the different rod ends, so these are 96 millimeter in black deluxe dravs. I love dravs. I have them on almost everything that is actually a performance-based truck. Some of my show trucks don't have them just because there's no point, and they don't look as scale as some of the other options for a Shelf Queen show truck. Moving on into the interior, I did make an aluminum dash out of aluminum sheet. Just folded some Lexan, kind of made the general shape, unfolded it, put it on aluminum, folded it back up, and did a little trimming, and then it is bolted to the two nuts that are brazed onto the cage. The steering column does go kind of under it. I made like a little drop column plastic thing that the column goes through with the wheel. It does have PRP seats from RC 4-wheel drive. I freaking love those things. They're so nice. And I also made a transmission cover the same way that I made the dash. I made a Lexan where I could actually see through it, see what is binding, got that all figured out and everything, and then folded it all back out, made it in aluminum, folded it all back in, and pretty much went exactly as planned. Now, this VFD does have a rear dig on it, so it does have a cutout and it does have the arm, but the mini servo actually mounts right under the dash, so I can still have an actual action figure in both sides. Everything will fit. Now in the middle, I did take a VFD top plate, and then I shaved out the shift bars that come up there that are molded, shaved those out, and then I took very, very small aluminum tubing. I'm not even sure. I got it at Hobby Lobby. I think it's like K&S maybe. I'm not 100% sure exactly where it was from. And I have a short one in the driver's closer side, and then I have a longer one, and they're both angled so that way it would be easy for whoever was driving to throw it back and forth if you needed to dig or, you know, high-low, whatever the hell you were going to do. So that pretty much covers the interior portion of this. It does have floors. They're just flat like sand, painted black, nothing too crazy. In the back, I did get a Amazon fuel cell. I know they're an RC 4-wheel drive knockoff. I know that RC 4-wheel drive still sells them. I try not to buy knockoff things. However, at the time that I was messing with this, I've had this for a minute, but I just really got it together a few weeks ago. They were out of stock. I needed something because we were going to start actually getting this thing together, so I bought some Amazon fuel cells. It just is what it is. I'm not buying a beef tube one, so this was my option. Moving to the exterior, I do have a TJ hood and grille. I did put the headlights back in. I painted behind the headlights silver. Then I detailed the grille, so now you can see the black. It's not exactly perfect, but it is what it is. And then I made these panels in the same way that I made the dash and the trans tunnel. This is just Lexan sheet as a template and then laid down over the same aluminum. I used to build RC derby cars out of slashes and build my own bodies. I have plenty of, I think this is 028 aluminum, and it's gutter material basically, and that's what I use to make all of our panels out of. I've given some to Jordan and Doug and everything like that, and that's what they make panels out of if they're wanting some. You can get it at Home Depot and like Lowe's, but it's not as thick. This I actually had to order online, and in all honesty, it was so long ago I don't even remember where I got it, but I had to actually search for it because that was the rule, and I wanted the thickest stuff possible, like your mom does. To make all that cohesive in color, I went to my local auto parts store and had a few, I would say, references, and wanted some sort of like metallic pearl orange. Found this. I don't remember if it's a factory color or if this is like some sort of just custom color. What I ended up doing was spraying it with the metallic silver that I got at some point in time for a square body. It's a square body color. Then I took the gold that I painted the pineapple with and then went over the silver with that. Now, to top that all off, I took the tangerine pearl, whatever the hell color I bought, and put that over that gold base, which gives this a little more of a yellow color, because straight out of the can, this was very transparent and it was going to be terrible to try to paint it. So I needed to have a nice base. And in all honesty, it has worked great. I love the color. If you couldn't tell, this is color-wise based off of Jenny Craig and Fat Girl by Tim Cameron. So I've dubbed this Fat Jenny. I don't know what it just happened. So that's what I'm calling this thing, and I freaking love it. So beyond the paint, obviously, I also painted the cage silver, and then down here we have incision drive shafts, of course, and I am just a big fan of D44 axles. So these are F10s with the D44 cases. This does have SSD knuckles in it, just for a little more forward weight, and I believe this has a underdrive ring and pinion in the rear, and then it has the 6% in the transmission, I think. If not, it has the 21% in the transmission and nothing in the rear. I can't remember exactly how this is. I would say, yeah, I think this has a 21% because that looks a little more than 6. Outside the axles, like I had mentioned, I do have, I think these are super shafty scale rotors in there. They're flat. I kind of like the flat ones better than like the ones that you can buy that look like hats. I think they get a little bit closer to the wheel, and personally, I like it better. I think it looks better. Whatever. Whoever makes those, that's fine. Whatever. Outside of that, I have one of my favorite wheels ever from Vision. My dude Bob makes these things, and I love them. I have a ton of new Vision wheels that I'm going to show you over the next few weeks, and this is just my favorite wheel, and I figured this is a awesome place to put it. So that is what I did. They are held together by scale screws from SSD. These are 2mm screws on the outside, and then they have VP hubs with the black scale hardware for the hub. Now, speaking of the hubs, I have some sort of Amazon thing in the back. I couldn't find my tool for the SSD ones. When I went to go buy the SSDs, they were also out of stock. So as I was picking this thing up, like everything was out of stock apparently. So I got whatever the heck these are. They're black. They look good on the actual truck. And then the fronts are SSDs with the yellow knobs in them. Now wrapped around those Visions, I do have the Yokohamas from Vanquish. I freaking love these things. I like the way they look. I am a very square tire kind of guy. I like that square profile. Other people like a more rounded tire. It is what it is. I like this. This is what I use. If you don't like it, that's fine. You use whatever you like because, it's your truck. So inside of that, I have dual stages. I'm not 100% sure what these are. Those are Three Brothers. These are actual anti-foams in the front, and I believe the front has the tuning ring or tuning rods in the inner circle. I'm pretty sure that's what this has. I can't really feel it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it feels pretty firm up there. And then the rear is a dual stage. I believe this is Crawler Innovations, just a 4.75 dual stage. That's basically what I run, and everything is a printed foam in the front, dual stage actual foam in the rear. I did take this out a little bit, and I will show you some of those little clips here. As you can see, the one problem that I talked about earlier and that I did have was at very, very low speed, this ESC and this motor just are not friends. It cogs real bad, and it's geared low enough like every other truck that I have, plus it's on a 4-cell. It should not have that problem. So that is somewhere between the motor and the ESC. I've had a little bit of that problem with other trucks when I tried to do this combo, so it just has to be these style ESCs with a normal censored motor that's just not censored. I've not had a problem with a black jacket and a beekeeper in just not running the sensor wire, but I already have the yellow jackets. I bought a bunch of them with the beekeeper when they came out, so I'm going to go ahead and take the yellow jacket and put it in here with the deluxe. If that doesn't work, I'll take the deluxe out. I've got another beekeeper. I don't know why it wouldn't work, but I would assume this combo will be better than what I have and will be fine. So that pretty much wraps up my Nilla Bear buggy, Fat Jenny. I do know that Jordan is not taking custom orders right now. He is doing his own thing. He's got 3 or 4 buggies he wants to build, plus I've already paid him for another buggy of mine that he can do in his spare time, and I don't really need it until next spring or this winter or whatever is usually when he starts building again. Don't go hit him up for a custom buggy because he's going to say no. If you want to follow him on Instagram, here is his screen name. I know he's on TikTok. I don't do TikTok, so you'll have to find him there, but you can go and follow him, check him out, tell him he does awesome work, because this is some of the cleanest stuff that you're going to find, and that's not mass produced. Speaking of following people, if you would follow me on the socials, Facebook and Instagram, Bullman Built RC across the board, join my group, and think about becoming a channel member. You get to see things first. You get to see videos a day early. You get to see behind the scenes things. I take videos that nobody else gets to see. You get to see things as I build them instead of waiting for a video. And you get to have the things that are for sale first. They go to my members first, then they go to my group, then they go out to Facebook, and then on Marketplace as a complete last option, because God, I hate dealing with people at Marketplace. I am on a selling spree right now, and it would be a great time for you to become a channel member and go to the group if you are in the market for trucks, parts, tires, yeah, all sorts of stuff. Non-RC related things. Every once in a while I'll throw a little bit of that. All the stuff. My group always does a, for sale things, whatever you want to post in there, as long as it's RC crawler related, you're more than welcome to do that. So check it all out, Bullman Built RC, and that is pretty much it. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you later. Bye!